Yo guys, welcome back to NorCal Cycling and welcome back to fan footage that you guys submitted. And Will, welcome back to the channel, buddy.
Thanks, Jeff. This is a cool little course. I'm excited to break this one down.
Yeah, Ryan from Reynolds Roof Racing. It's a lot of R's going on. we'll flash a picture of him, this hot pink kit. He submitted this footage. This is his Cat 4-5 race from a few months back. 2023, the Littleton Twilight Criterium. This is a big time race for the pro field too.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's big crowds around this course too, which is awesome to see at a 4-5 race.
Yeah, this is very un-4-5. Like, well, there's going to be a lot of things that you guys see. First of all, the speed. Look, I mean, they were shot out of a cannon. Like, so going fast on the first lap. And this will be the theme, I think, is single file, really fast. And these guys seem a lot more fit than most 4-5 racers, right?
Yeah, I think just this being kind of a national level race, it'll probably bring out those higher end 4-5 races. We've got the Boulder junior cyclists. I mean, they're not a small team, so got some talent in this field.
Right. The fitness is really good, and speaking of that, I know there's a lot of guys locally here in NorCal who are in lower categories, who will peak and really focus on their fitness and then go out and do something like Tulsa Tough, for example. So I know that that's a thing. And like you said, there are some riders here from Boulder, and there are riders from other racing districts. So I suspect that's what's going on. But just because these guys are fit doesn't mean they have the same race experience. We're going to talk about some big differences that we see in Cat 4-5 racing. Some things that you guys can learn to maximize your fitness and to find results in your races. So let's dive right into it. But not before mentioning the sponsor of this video, and that is BetterHelp. Look, it's the start of a new year. Let's crush 2024 together. But it can be stressful starting that business, getting that promotion, and it starts with yourself, and that's where BetterHelp steps in. BetterHelp makes starting therapy much easier and less intimidating for a lot of people, and they do this by hosting therapy sessions as a phone call, as a video chat, or even messaging, whatever's the most comfortable and convenient version of therapy for you. So check out their website. You'll get matched to one of over 30,000 therapists in their network based on your specific needs, preferences, and location. It's super easy to get started. You fill out a quick questionnaire that will ask you questions about what challenges you're going through, what kind of therapist you'd like. And then within 48 hours, in most cases, you get matched with a therapist. So join the over 4 million people who have already started using BetterHelp to live a healthier, happier life. Click the link in the description or just visit betterhelp.com/NorCalCycling. Help support this channel. Now back to the race. All right, so it finally settles down and the pack kind of swells. And I want to say the first thing I noticed is look how close these guys are racing together. This is, like I said, very un-Cat 4-5. This feels like a P1-2 field.
Yeah, it does. And we're going to jump into this next corner where we have this little move that is characteristically Cat 4-5. Just sticking to your line can be very tricky, especially when people are gassed. And that looked like a hairy situation.
Yeah, it seems like it scared Ryan a bit, for good reason. That scared me a little bit. I'm sitting in a desk chair right now, so he falls back. Unfortunately, it starts to get fast again. I don't know who's deciding to ramp it up on the front, but you can tell just by looking at the field, guys, this is what it looks like when it's fast. See how it's single file? That's fast. When it gets bunched up, that means it's not very fast. And pro tip, if you're looking for opportunities to move up, do it when it's bunched up because you can get a lot more bang for your buck. I think in that last video we posted, the Lake Bluff crit, out at Intelligentsia, we talked about exactly that. I moved up when it bunched up, and I got right to the front with minimal energy expenditure. Whereas if you decide right now to move up, you're out in the wind for so much longer because the group is single file, and I'm seeing the raindrops coming in. Will, this is looking scary now. I wonder how these guys are going to do in the rain.
Yeah, the first 10 minutes of it raining, that can be a really scary time. Everything's kind of pulling up. There's oil on the road still that hasn't gotten washed off, so things are going to get a little more nervous here, and we're just going to have to hang on for those corners.
I can tell already, too, Ryan is not holding the wheel, and now this is looking a bit more Cat 4-5. I mean, at first I was like, okay, he's tail gunning. This is good. But actually, he's kind of not. He's just letting this gap open up. He might have been spooked by that rider crowding him on the left. He might have felt a couple of raindrops and been spooked. All valid reasons, but if you're not in the draft, mid-pack like this. I mean, that's the whole benefit of being like mid-pack or towards the back is you can ride in the draft. And oh yeah, again, like here, like why pop out on the left, especially because we're coming into a right-hander. Like I think he's going to take he's taking the long way around this corner. Now, look, I'm not saying that the outside line is always the wrong choice, but if you're back here in the cheap seats of the peloton, like you can have a good look at that corner. You don't have to take it out in the wind, on the outside line. So it's just small stuff like that. All of a sudden, reality snaps back into focus, and it's like, oh yeah, this is a Cat 4-5 race. So guys, the criticism is supposed to help you. I don't mean to sound too harsh, but like, take those tips into your next Cat 4-5 race. Anyway, let's fast forward a little bit. We'll see how the rest of this race shakes out. So that brings us into the final couple laps. I think we're 2.5 laps to go, Will. How much energy does Ryan have left? I don't know. He's going to need it because it's a pretty technical course. And he has found himself right up towards the front. But what's he doing on the left-hand side? We just talked about this. Kind of weird that he popped out in the wind, right? Like he's already position number 4. Like why eat all this wind on the outside line? I don't get it, Will.
Yeah, if I was in that position, I would just maintain where you're at and try to defend that position in the pack. Like you want to take up that space and just stay there the best you can. Moving out into the wind will just open up the wheel that you had, and you want to keep that wheel. So try and stay in that wheel, especially when it's going to get faster.
Right, good point. Not only is like you're out in the wind, obviously doing more energy, but also you're not defending your position anymore. And you can see what happened is this rider's going to slot in at a very inopportune time because that guy in the front, if you notice, just started stepping on it. I don't know why, but this is kind of the dream situation for Ryan. If he can hold the wheel, this is such a critical moment in the race. We're coming through 2 laps to go. He's got to stay on it because there's like something happening, like a lead out. The guy was just attacking from the front. And oh my God, he almost gets wiped out by this rider in the red. Another very strange, unnecessary lateral move that reminds us this is, in fact, a lower category Cat 4-5 race. But he's got it. Will, this is such a critical moment. Are you seeing this?
He's got to get there. He's got to get there. There's that gap. He's got to close it.
2K to go. And in his notes he sent us, Ryan said that there was a gap behind here, too. So this is make or break. I mean, this is the hill you die on. And by the way, folks, if you are not a sprinter, this is a key moment. I realize that Ryan's at 191 beats per minute, so maybe not the best, but you saw how there was a lull. The riders are clearly tired. If you want to send it from 2K, that was a perfect moment to try to sneak one past the sprinters. And I'll tell you a quick anecdote. Believe it or not, I have won races that way, especially in these lower categories. Not everything I do is from a sprint at 200 meters to go. And I found it shocking how, because I wasn't doing 450 watts for the final 2K when I was a Cat 4-5 to win with 2 laps to go. I was doing like a very modest 300 watts or something like that. People are so disinterested in chasing and spending energy in the final 2 laps of a crit, especially when there's no organization or team presence on the front. Will, have you experienced that?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in that position where someone's attacked. I'm just like, that's not me. I'm not that guy.
I'm not chasing that.
Yeah.
Everyone
exactly.
looks at it. Everyone looks at it and is like, I'm not chasing that, and then that's how it gets away. And by the way, Cat 4-5 is for experimenting. It's for trying to figure that out. And like I said, you guys are going to be surprised. You're going to think like I am not the go from 2K sort of guy, but you are if the timing is right. Everyone is if the timing is right. That's the beauty of cycling. But it looks like Ryan is just coming in. We're 1 lap to go now. It looks like Ryan spent a few too many pennies early on, kind of unnecessarily out in the wind, taking really inefficient corners, bad lines, and now he's paying for it. This is when every ounce of energy matters the most. He's starting to shuffle back, letting these riders pop in when he should be doing the opposite. He should be leapfrogging up to the front group because it's still so fast, strung out in single file. Dude, I can't believe the speed and fitness of these guys is not Cat 4-5. The strategy, the bike handling, the cornering is Cat 4-5. Like, it's a very strange race to me.
Yeah, it's more prevalent now after coronavirus, where everybody just got super fit, on the trainer, that kind of thing, but no race experience. So a lot of strong guys in this field, all still trying to figure out those race tactics, and they're figuring out the hard way right now. Yeah,
now I can see that group of 4 that originally attacked, and Ryan was right on the tailcoats of it, but now he's kind of dropped back. His heart rate is still over 180 beats per minute, so you can tell he's giving it all. But just like I can see a couple of gaps. Might be a result of the rain too. Just a really hard fought hour of crit racing. So we're coming into the final corner here, and he's going to give it all, but it's about all she's got. He's spent too many pennies over the last 45 minutes or so, and he's going to roll in for, what was it? It was a top 10, I think.
He got 9th, so not terrible, but I think with a few adjustments, he could have boosted that for sure.
Without question. I think some of those riders on the front, well, you know what you see a lot in these Cat 4 or 5 fields? Like the guy on the front was like an ex-rower or something, because the way he was just attacking from the front and completely destroying the field is very telling that he has an endurance background. But anyway, I digress. Thank you, Ryan, for submitting your footage. Guys, don't forget, if you have footage that you want to upload, have Will and I talk about, I'm going to leave a link in the description. It just takes a few minutes of your time. And Will, always great having you on, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff.